All right, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about sentence branching. I'm still trying to help you learn how to not make your sentences boring. So, one way I already talked about, right, in text, is I talked to you about sentence length. And here's just another quick look at why that can be miserable and make your reader want to bang their head repeatedly into the desk while reading it. Okay, so here's a paragraph, right? And let's just read what we have here. I needed vacation. I hated school. I wanted to be outside. I needed fresh air. I hated math class. I hated English class. School was hard. It took all day. I had other problems. My life is hard. School is boring. I want to graduate. Okay, so hopefully you noticed that this is a miserable piece of writing, not only because of the negativity. Sometimes negativity can be funny, actually, if it's approached the right way, but more so, it is miserable because of the lack of sentence variation. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't even know how many sentences of all about equal length, right? I needed vacation. I hated school. I wanted to be outside. We got 5, 6 words, but also the way that the sentences are structured is very similar. We have subject, I, right? Verb, needed, vacation. What did I need? An object. I hated school. Subject, verb, subject, verb, subject, verb. Like there's no real variation to these sentences. Additionally, right, every sentence starts with the word I. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but that also is definitely not a good idea. But even just learning how to vary your sentence structure in this lesson should help you fix that problem. All right, so when you have a sentence, there are different ways that you can branch out from that sentence. We're going to either in the front, the middle, or the end. So first of all, we're going to talk about front branching. Okay, so if this were my sentence that I was writing, one of the ways that I could spice it up and help to vary my sentence structure would be to add some information to the beginning of this sentence. For example, I might say, because I teach teenagers 180 days a year in a windowless classroom, I needed vacation. Okay, well, now my verb tense isn't right. So because I teach teenagers 180 days a year in a windowless classroom, I need a vacation. Okay, so what I did here is I created a front branch to my sentence. I made this sentence hopefully more interesting to you, right? I added some information prior by using a comma. This right here, this is called an introductory phrase. One way to kind of help you with front sentence branching is to learn a little bit more about something called a WOOBUS, and it's ways to add introductory phrases to your work. If you'd like to look that up, you'd probably find some interesting ways to start your sentences. A WOOBUS stands for words like although, at the time, like hear all those A's. I think I'll try to go into that lesson a little bit later for you. I got off track here now. But anyway, this is one way to branch out from your sentence, to kind of start at the beginning, right, and add in more information. Let's try another one. So if my original sentence, right, is I needed, let's stick with the original. I needed a vacation. I don't need a vaccination. I need a vacation. Well, at least I don't think I do. Okay, here we go. So, despite my desire to educate the youth of America, I needed a vacation. All right, I added some more information to the front of that sentence. So one way to change your sentence structure would be to add information to the front of your sentence. Another way to add information to a sentence, a boring sentence structure, right? A simple sentence, would be to use middle branching. It's not letting me click right now. Let's do middle branching. Here we go. Okay, so in middle branching, right, I am not going to make changes to the front of that sentence. Instead, I'm going to make changes in the middle. So a 39-year-old woman with 4 children and a rambunctious dog needed vacation. Now notice that when I do middle branching, right, because this is extra information about me, so here's the I, right, and everything in between these two commas is just telling you more about me, the I of the sentence. So we're going to set that off by commas because that's that extra information comma rule. So I, a 39-year-old woman with 4 children and a rambunctious dog, needed vacation. That's one way, right, to branch out in the middle of the sentence. Let's try again. So I, despite my love of nouns, verbs, and semicolons, needed a vacation. All right, again, it just gives you more information about me, right? This tells you that I love nouns, verbs, and semicolons. Very nerdy English teacher information. Really, I don't love nouns, verbs, and semicolons. I'm not that nerdy. I'm maybe kind of that nerdy, but not completely, so don't lose interest as of yet. But again, this is just a way to make my sentence a little bit more interesting because I added to the middle, I branched out, and notice again, I set that extra information off by commas. One last way to vary your sentence structure would be to do end branching. So I needed vacation, right? Okay, well, I needed vacation. Now I'm going to expand on the idea of what kind of vacation. I needed vacation. The kind with flip-flops and beach umbrellas. The wind from the ocean blowing the sand in eddies beneath my feet. Okay, I needed vacation. Well, what kind of vacation, right? I'm going to tell you more about that vacation. I needed vacation, the kind with flip-flops and beach umbrellas, the wind from the ocean blowing the sand in eddies beneath my feet. So again, I'm giving you more information. I'm adding to that sentence so it's not so boring. And I'm really adding to the whole idea of the vacation, right? There's all kinds of vacations. And this is giving you a better idea what this means. Let's try again. So I needed vacation to a place where teenagers no longer rolled their eyes at me from the back row, no longer hid their iPhones between their thighs so that I could not catch them. I needed vacation to a place where teenagers no longer rolled their eyes at me from the back row, no longer hid their iPhones between their thighs so that I could not catch them. Catch them. How about in the act of texting during English class? Okay, so now what I did here, right, is I added to the end of that sentence. I made it more interesting. If you do not start to vary your sentence structure, the reader is not going to be interested in your writing. It's plain and simple. Your writing will be boring. Like when we go back to this first idea of a paragraph, this is what I get a lot of times. And this makes my job incredibly hard to continue and not need an extended vacation because you need to put more effort than this into your writing. So this needs a lot of variety needs to be added here. So let's just think about how we could really work this beginning paragraph to make it better. So what I want you to do for this assignment is I want you to take this right here, this paragraph, I needed vacation, I hated school, I wanted to be outside, I needed fresh air, I hated math class, and I want you to fix these sentences, okay? I want you to use front, middle, and end branching to actually make this paragraph, or maybe change it into a couple paragraphs, because I think I go off course a little bit in one paragraph here, and make it interesting. Add in those sensory details and those branches that are going to make the paragraph not read like something that makes your English teacher want to just bang her head repeatedly into the desk in front of her. Okay, so this is your next assignment, and I look forward to seeing what you produce. Happy writing!